Hello, beautiful beings of light. Welcome to the Earth and I channel. I'm so grateful that you're here, and I want to express deep gratitude for the beautiful beings who have shared so much light and love toward me on this page in this space. My name's Shayna, and I utilize this space to show up as genuinely as I can to share heartfelt and helpful messages to all aspects of life on Earth. I'm so passionate about the ascension journey, spiritual awakening, and fullness of life for every being. And I hope that you find a place in this channel, in any of my other platforms. I would love to connect with you. I appreciate any feedback. I would love for you to subscribe, like the video, share the video, and comment what resonated with you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We're going to move into the topic today. Today, we're going to speak upon the aspect and existence of blame in our lives, and how when we move past this frame of blame, we ascend. We become way more connected, way more responsible, way more loving, and we benefit so much more greatly from our life experience. Blame is something that is ever present in our modern day society, in our individual lives. And what today's video is going to do is we're going to draw attention to blame, how we can deal with that moment differently in order to create a renewed and refreshing outcome, and how we can step deeper into our personal responsibility without letting ourselves out to dry, aka denying our pain, denying the way that we feel. And instead of internalizing that and blaming our emotions, our energy on external ideas, we utilize that energy to propel us forward into higher realms. Okay, let's discuss blame. What is blame? Blame is an aspect of victimhood where, as humans, we manipulate our own understanding of an experience in order for our ego to further control a situation. Why? Is because our soul understands that nothing exists outside of ourselves, that we are ever connected to everything and all the things, all the energies, all the beings. Yet our ego does not surrender to that truth. Instead, our ego likes to keep alive the idea of separation. And from that space, our ego finds success in pushing off responsibility, denying aspects of life in order to fulfill its high, its pleasure. Why do we blame? We blame because we've become identified deeply with certain aspects of life, certain vibrations. And when anything goes against those vibrations that we've identified with, we deny it. A lot of this roots from aspects of ourselves that we've been conditioned to deny, or we've taken it upon ourselves to deny, and we're seeing them manifested in our external world. When we see them mirrored to us, since subconsciously we're denying that aspect of ourselves, we're denying that vibration from entering into our field. That's where blame comes up. When we blame, we push away energy, we deny it from coming into our field, and therefore it manifests in an abundant amount of ways until we finally accept it. You can go your whole life living in this blame mindset, denying this particular energy field, but it will continue coming back and back and back. Another reason why we blame is that as humans, it's easy to fall into this victim mindset. It's perpetrated all over the media. It's very normalized to live in this victim mindset. And what I want to draw attention to is that we are willing and able and worthy to give ourselves grace, space, love, to feel bad for ourselves for a moment, to mourn, to take care of ourselves on a very deep level and to be fully honest about what's happened to us. There's a whole realm of possibilities that you have experienced that were tragic, that were scarring, that were traumatic. What the victim mindset does, though, it continues repeating those experiences because you feel like it's out of your control. Situations can be out of your control. Your reaction, the way that you take care of yourself, the way that you utilize your loving life force energy, that's your responsibility. And until you do that, you will see patterns continue to manifest in your life. You will feel that lots of your life is out of your control. Instead of having that mindset that life is so out of my control, instead, you're co-creating with God. You're co-creating with this beautiful life force energy. And by being honest and transparent with the way that you feel, the way that a situation hurt you, you are able to open up to receive more life force energy because you're building trust. You're building honesty with yourself instead of looking to source that from outside. How leaving blame can change your life? That is a massive, massive idea that everyone is worthy to explore and to understand. How we handle hardship is really telling of what direction we are moving in on our journeys. And sometimes you have to go down a road that seems undesirable, but remembering that you're learning an important lesson there is the key. Always reminding yourself of that. When we blame, we're sending bad energy out into the field. We're sending victim, helpless, unhappy, unhealthy energy out into the field. And according to quantum physics, that's what we're going to get back. That's what's going to come back to us. People live in this frame of blame. And when you live in there, you're recycling unwanted energy. And why would anyone do that? Because we're unconscious of this process. We're unconscious that this is going on. And a big reason why is because you attract what you are. So if you blame everything on everyone else, everybody else, anything you blame, you're going to attract people who do that same thing. Therefore, reaffirm your belief that you're a victim, that everything else is everybody else's fault. And it's super humbling to move past that framework. Trust me. Trust yourself. Trust that that is an important aspect of your lesson in order to grow and become the person that you want to be, to vibrate in the space that you want, to manifest the things that you want. Blame is going to keep you trapped where you are. It's so easy to not take responsibility in life. It really is for your ego, not for your soul. The more that you do that, the less connected you are to your soul, the less flowing you're going to be. The ego loves this separation, and blame pushes forth this idea of separation, pushes forth the fact that nothing's working out for us, that we're always getting the short end of the stick. It ties back deeply to your deep-rooted belief system. I would love to do that in another video about how it's so important to be free-flowing and allow your beliefs to change. Blame, blame, blame. I want you to explore this powerful practice. Notice when you're blaming, whether it be a small thing or a big thing that you've been carrying around for a long time. Notice that and ask yourself, why am I failing to accept this? Powerful downloads and energy will come to you when you are brave enough to ask yourself that question. Whether it be a small or a big situation, however you perceive it. When you ask yourself, you're signaling to the universe, I'm willing to change. I'm willing to take responsibility. I'm willing to ascend past this pattern. Because blame is connected to very few seeds, but they will endlessly manifest until they are uprooted, taken out, and honestly discarded of. Blame is an aspect of the ego, and I don't say that as it to be a negative thing, just a powerful thing to be aware of. If everything else is everybody else's fault, what does that make you? Why is everything everyone else's fault? I had to ask myself these questions, and when I did, life changed. Life changed so fast because I was so much more connected to the Lord, to God. I understood the way that the universe worked because I realized that what I was putting out was coming back to me. I was given more situations to complain about. I was given more situations to blame on this person, on the weather, on anything else. And I want to reaffirm, it doesn't mean that you don't give yourself the grace to mourn, the grace to feel how you're feeling. Create the safety to feel how you're feeling and move forward. Skip that step where you have to victimize yourself, where you have to make it the world's problem, where you have to fail to take responsibility for being present and feeling your feelings. When you do that, you are so much more empowered. That's another beautiful thing. When you're not blaming the world, blaming things outside yourself, you're utilizing that energy for more creativity, for more just general energy in your body, in your being, in your presence. It's exhausting to blame. It's exhausting to point the finger until you turn around and realizing it's kind of like you're pointing the finger to all these aspects in life, and then God just comes by and pulls up and it's just a bunch of reflective mirrors. It's just a bunch of different mirrors. And once you pull that veil, you're able to take care of those aspects of yourself. You're able to take care of those things in life. And another important aspect is, what are your cop-outs? What do you use as a cop-out when you don't feel like being completely honest? I'll share. I would use, oh, I don't have enough money to do that. I can't afford that. I would say that all the time when that was not the truth. I had been programming myself to live in this scarcity, to believe that I never had enough money. What the truth was is that I don't have the energy to do that. I don't want to do that. And instead of taking that path of true honesty, I was blaming on my financial situation, which was in turn programming me to believe that I never had enough money. And lo and behold, I was experiencing that in my life. So looking at what your cop-outs are and seeing the truth within them, magical. That has been a magical ascension in my life. And another one, I'm just exhausted. No, I actually wasn't exhausted. I just wanted to go home and be alone. I wanted to go in my room and read or create or do anything. And we don't realize how much we're allowing our external environment to impact our own belief system about ourselves. And it feels easy to just blame, and that perpetuates. So I'm in a situation where I'm invited somewhere. I blame the reason I can't go on my money situation. And then I experience the manifestation of that statement that I made about my money in my life. I blame my money problems on another person because that's just how it works. It just starts manifesting in insane ways. And then you start blaming people for deep internal problems. And that's because you're keeping that system alive. And that's what's really beautiful about realizing little things, little patterns, because they're not little at all. And it takes time to dwindle away from a state of being. But when you're in that process, it's so beautifully healing and the greatest teacher ever, because you're learning that you don't have to carry that around with you anymore. You don't have to feel that way. You don't have to feel so put into the corner and unworthy. Empowering yourself means humbling yourself. And when you humble yourself, you're more connected than ever to the all of everything. So much more full of love. Ugh, it's lovely, 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 lovely. Is there anything else I want to add to this? Just really emphasizing asking yourself those questions. And by noticing what you're using as cop-outs and what you're blaming, you find gold there. You find your truth, your deepest truth, and you understand why you've been experiencing certain patterns in your life. Blame is the gateway to full empowerment, to deep responsibility, and to deep knowing. And that's why it's not a bad thing that if you look at yourself and you're like, wow, I blame a lot of things on the external. We all have, we all do it. Find your lesson there. That's what this is about. Finding your lesson, finding your gold there, and seeing how that energy that you're going to reclaim, is going to come to work in a magical way to propel you into the life that you want, not the life that you feel like you have to live. Magical, magical, magical. And realizing that when we're blaming, we're avoiding a trigger as well. When we're blaming the way that we feel, the way that this situation made us feel in your day-to-day life, you're avoiding a trigger. And our triggers, like I just said, hold our gold. And taking the time and embodying patience is so beautiful when working with blame as well, because you give yourself permission to sit with what just happened. Why am I deflecting? Why am I failing to accept this? And you are going to learn a major lesson. Let those emotions flow. Let the truth flow. You find freedom. You're worthy of freedom. You are freedom. And in this knowing, remembering that you are creating this experience, God has trusted you to bring his glory onto earth in every moment, every way. And we're learning how to eliminate what has limited that blockage, that energy from entering this plane. And blame is a beautiful place to start. How have you been failing to acknowledge the fullness of your power and responsibility? What are you avoiding? What's a major lesson that's been hidden? It's exciting. It's great. So take some time to find your juice, find your nectar, carry this idea with you, and reclaim your power in every way, shape, and form. Allow the truth to be seen, allow yourself to walk in that truth, and allow yourself to take action based on the fullness of your truth. Unbiased, egoless, fullness of heart. You got this. So much love to you, beautiful beings. Love to hear from you in the comments. Thank you again for your service and for the beauty of your everything. Until next time, my loves.